Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, I have to tell you the NFL landscape is always shifting, and this time the buzz is all about a potential blockbuster trade that could shake up the NFC North and really bolster the Green Bay Packers defense in a way we haven't seen in recent seasons. Rumors are swirling that the Packers are considering trading a third-round pick in the 2026 draft to acquire Fred Warner, the All-Pro linebacker from the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, Fred Warner, folks, a name that instantly commands respect across the league, and a player that, if this trade goes through, could dramatically alter the dynamics of the Packers' defense and their overall outlook for the rest of the season and beyond. Let's dive into the details. The 49ers, sitting at a 5-3 record, are currently navigating some cap constraints, especially at the quarterback position, with a focus on managing their financial flexibility. Meanwhile, the Packers, with a record of 5-1, are sitting pretty near the top of the NFC North, and their defense is looking to take a big leap forward. The trade, if it happens, would see the Packers bolstering their inside linebacker core by adding Warner, a player who is not only a tackling machine, but also a defensive maestro capable of elevating an entire unit. Fred Warner, at 28 years old, has been a defensive anchor for the 49ers, showcasing a genius-level football IQ that reminds many of legends like Bobby Wagner at his prime. In the 2025 season, through just 8 games, Warner has already accumulated 78 tackles, with 42 of those being solo hits. He's been a force in the TFL department, 7 tackles for loss, and has also contributed with 3 sacks. His PFF grade of 94 speaks volumes about his consistency and elite performance. When you look at his EPA per run at 27, it's clear he's a disruptive presence on the field, often shutting down rushing plays before they even develop. And let's talk about his coverage stats, because they are just as impressive. Warner has faced 26 targets in coverage, allowing only 17 completions for 192 yards, with just 1 touchdown caught against him. His completion percentage allowed in coverage is around 65.4%, but what stands out is his YAC, yards after catch, averaging just 7.4 yards per target. The 2 interceptions he secured this season further highlight his ball skills and ability to make game-changing plays. Over his career, he's amassed more than 700 tackles, along with 20 sacks, and a career PFF grade close to 90, which puts him among the best linebackers in the league. What makes Warner even more attractive as a trade target is his durability. Unlike many players who struggle with injuries, Warner has maintained perfect health in 2025, and his tackle rate of over 5 tackles per game underscores his consistent presence on the field. His YAC defense, yards after catch allowed, is considered elite because he's not just good at stopping runners. He's also adept at limiting yards after catch, which is a critical aspect of modern NFL offenses that rely heavily on quick passes and YAC yards. Now, the idea of trading a third-round pick in 2026 for Warner might seem like a bold move, but the Packers are looking at the bigger picture. Their defense, especially the middle, has been a work in progress. With the recent injury to Neiman, who's been on IR with a rib injury since Week 7, the team has a noticeable gap in their run defense. Currently, the Packers are allowing 4.2 yards per carry, which is below their usual standards, but adding someone like Warner could turn that around entirely. And folks, the impact of such a move could be seismic. Just imagine Warner lining up next to Devonte Wyatt and Kenny Clark, creating a hybrid front that can rush the passer and stuff the run with equal effectiveness. His addition would transform the Packers into a hybrid defense capable of terrorizing opponents, similar to what we see with the Ravens in 2023. In fact, projections suggest that Warner could add over 100 tackles in the remaining games, along with around 10 tackles for loss, boosting the entire unit's efficiency and creating more turnovers, something the Packers desperately need to stay competitive. The stats speak for themselves. Adding Warner could elevate the Packers' defense from allowing around 115 rushing yards per game to a much more manageable number. closer to 65 or 70. It would also make the secondary's job much easier, as the middle of the field becomes more controlled, and the defense can shift to a more aggressive hybrid scheme. The Packers' PFF grade for their defense could see a jump of around 6-9 points, and their points allowed per game could drop from 19 to around 15. That's a huge step forward, especially in a league where every point counts, and the playoffs are often decided by a few key stops. And talking about the big picture, this move could be a game changer for the Packers' Super Bowl odds. Currently, they're sitting at plus 1,800, but if Warner joins the team and the defense improves as projected, those odds could shorten significantly, possibly to plus 1,100 or better. It's not just about individual stats. It's about how a player like Warner can influence the entire team's mentality and performance. Historically, linebacker trades like this have turned entire units into invincible forces. Think of Luke Kuechly's impact on the Panthers in 2015, with over 110 tackles and game-changing plays every week. Warner has that kind of potential, especially in a defense that's already showing promise. Now, the skeptics from the 49ers side point to their cap situation, especially with Purdy's contract and the need to keep their defense competitive. Their PFF grade of 83. 4 isn't bad, but they've seen a 21% decline in EPA per play on defense, and some worry that losing Warner could hurt their versatility and youthfulness. On the other hand, the Packers are optimistic, especially considering Neiman's injury has created a gap in their run defense. Adding Warner would fill that gap instantly, making their front seven more formidable and adaptable, especially under the guidance of their scheme. So what does all this mean for the Packers moving forward? If the trade happens, it would send a clear message. Green Bay is all in, aiming to contend seriously and build a defense that can carry them deep into the playoffs. Warner's leadership, experience, and elite playmaking ability could push the Packers from a good team to a true championship contender. His presence would also elevate younger players, teaching them how to play more disciplined, smart football, just as Warner does. To sum it up, folks, this potential trade isn't just about acquiring a great linebacker. It's about transforming the entire identity of the Packers' defense. It's about setting a tone, creating a fortress that opponents dread facing. Warner, with his stats, his leadership, and his football IQ, could be the X factor that propels Green Bay back to Super Bowl glory. It's a bold move, yes, but one that could pay off in spades if executed well. The NFL is all about these strategic high-stakes decisions, and this one might just be the key to unlocking a new era of Packers dominance. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.